Morning all, I'm Johnny B, and I'm not going to call this a episode or welcome to Sunny Coast Celtic. I'm going to go on about the Scotland game last night. I know Celtic podcast, I get that, but cannot dismiss what happened last night at Hampden Park. That is probably the biggest game in Scotland's history since I've been alive. That was, I know they were at the World Cup in '98, but that was years ago and all that. 28 years, and then they go and do this. That was a fantastic. Everybody's been slating Stevie Clarke, which I get, his style of football, but see that last night? That's one of the best things I've ever seen. End to end, that last injury time was just unbelievable. That normally goes against us. We normally lose the goals. But I've been watching things about podcasts today, not even podcasts, just people filming, and the crowd are in pubs, and man, it just makes you proud to be Scottish. That was absolutely fantastic. And Stevie Clarke's done this the hard way. He's got us to a World Cup without a striker, if you know what I mean. We've got strikers, but who do they play for? Do you know them well? Are they big names? No. So he's kind of done this with maybe a midfield than a forward line. Scott McTominay's got, and John McGinn have got us out of jail so many times. But last night was just a team effort. It was brilliant to watch. I know a lot of Celtic supporters aren't keen on going to watch. I don't know why. It's got to get you. I moved to Australia 20 odd years ago, and trust me, you missed that. You missed that anthem before the game. You missed the crowd. That is outstanding. Now, I'm not going to post this video until I talk to my missus, because I want to be able to go and watch the games over in either Mexico, Canada or the USA. So I've not asked her yet. I don't know what she's wanting to do, but I'll never probably see another World Cup in my lifestyle. And it's just one of those things. The Scottish supporters away from home are always brilliant, huddling up in the kilts and everything else, and it's just, it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I just can't believe that Steve Clarke got there with a team that didn't really have a recognised striker. When's the last time we had a real striker that could put the ball in the net? You know, you're probably talking like Kenny Miller, Maurice Johnson, or a wee Orangeman of the day. But anyway, I'm just saying that's what it takes. I wrote a few notes down, so I'm going to take a glance at them while I'm doing it, because just wrote some notes down today on the game. So, what a night for Kieran Tierney. I thought he had scored the winner, and that would have been fit to be anyone in goal in any game. At the same time, I felt sorry for Schmeichel. I'm thinking to myself, can you imagine Kieran Tierney walking into the changing room when Celtic either have a couple of training sessions after this game, walking in and everybody going, my God, Kieran, what a goal, and cheering for him and feeling great for him. And then at the other side of it, you're having to consolidate with Casper. It's a sore one for us, because one is an absolute hero and one's just down and dusted. But I'm going to be honest with you here. I think Denmark are well equipped to go through in the playoffs, whereas I think Scotland would have struggled. It doesn't matter who you play, but we just struggle in the games, and nerves get the better of us and all that. Denmark absolutely fucked it up, excuse my French, by getting by drawing with Belarus. But we've stuffed up some games in my lifetime as well, and we've tried to qualify. But see that last night? That was edgy your seat stuff. That was brilliant last night. You'll never get another night like that. I can't believe the fans were going bananas, and I haven't seen that for years. So in one, you feel brilliant for Kieran Tierney and Tony Ralston, but on the other hand, you got to feel for Casper. But anyway, we wanted Scotland through. They might still go through, which I think they will. So it might be a win-win for everybody. You know what I mean? So I think this will be Casper's last World Cup, so I'd like him to get there. What else was I going to say? The McTominay goal. How good was it? Everybody's forgot about his goal because of how the game ended, because it was just phenomenal at the end. But man, if Harry Kane scores that goal, if anybody scores that goal, Salah, or Haaland, they'd be talking about it for the next 20 years going, he scored that to get his team to the World Cup. Man, McTominay's goal was just outstanding, wasn't it? And do you know what I thought? See, when he scored, I'm celebrating, I'm gagging myself, but maybe it'll go to VAR and they'll say his foot was too high. Can you imagine that catastrophe it was? But anyway, McTominay, what a goal. You can't talk about that enough. I think every goal, except for the one with the corner, their first goal was never a penalty. It was outside the box. Aye, it's a free kick. Never a penalty. So they got away with that one. It should never have been given. It went to VAR and they still gave it. So again, this VAR shit, I think it's Stevie Wonder and his fucking family that's in that VAR because they're getting everything wrong. Aye, it was a free kick. It was outside the box. But anyways, it's all water under the bridge now, but it could have been, would have been if, you know. And then see when Scotland get that second goal, I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, hold out for at least 10 minutes and then I don't know what we're going to do there. Are we going to go for another goal or are we going to sit back? We sat back against 10 men and they're sending off. Was it a sending off? I don't know if it was either. Wee McGinn, he's brilliant at that. He went down and the guy, when you look at it in slow motion, he never pulled him, he just kind of, that's no a free kick any other area in the park. Do you know what I mean? But we got lucky with that. He gets sent off and that's it. Well done, John McGinn. But their goal, obviously, terrible. Our goal, it was a good, his corner was great. Shankland was at the right place at the right time. Well done. Their second goal, again, we sat back and we're waiting on it happening. And see when it happened, I'm thinking to myself, here we go again. How many times have we seen this game, this story, everything? We've played it in our heads, we've played it everywhere. And then it goes into injury time and you're going, right, come on, something needs to change. I'll give Clark his due, brought forwards on and tried to win the game. But see when that ball came out of Tierney, how sweet did he hit that? It's just the perfect goal to take us through to the World Cup. And I'm thinking, imagine that, he scored the winner. See when Kieran scored that, he's ran away and I think he was a bit like Lubo when Lubo came to Celtic and scored a double against Rangers. He scored and he didn't know what to do because he's thinking, what's going on here? I think Tierney was the same. Like, I'd have been taking my shirt off and I'd have been in the crowd. Kieran's just, I don't know whether he's thought, did that really happen? And he's just kind of going, what do you do next? But I'll tell you what, mate, what a strike. Absolutely phenomenal, mate. That was one of the best I've seen. And then I'm thinking, it's going on and on and on. And you think, no, fucking hell. This team, they'll just keep pushing us. 10 men, they done well with 10 men. They still played football. That's what tells me they'll still qualify because they're a good outfit. But, in saying that, Scotland just went and then when that ball broke to Kenny McLean, I could hear, I don't know what it was. It was on the TV or a podcast or something, or somebody's film I was watching it. Somebody's shouting shoot as soon as he got the ball, and I'm going, because I can't see the big picture where Schmeichel is. I'm just watching McLean on the ball because it wasn't a zoom camera, and then it went kind of to McLean, and then that defender's, he shuffled just beside the defender, and I could hear people shouting. It was people in the crowd. I think, see when he shot, I'm going, fuck it, he must be just trying to waste time here. And then when the camera changed angle, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's going to go close. See when I went in, I've never seen anything like it. I've never felt anything like it for ages. You know what I mean? I'd love to see Celtic winning a European Cup. I don't think it will happen in my lifetime. This is as close as I've ever got to just elation there. That was absolutely brilliant. To get your team to a World Cup, Tierney and Kenny McLean, man, I know the whole team were good, but they scored their 2 goals, but I think Tierney was the one that got us there. The other one just took the edge off the last couple of seconds, you know, because they throw the ball into the box, you're in trouble. And the referee, I think, was going to start the game and went, oh, you know what, fuck it, they're through, I'm gone. Good night, Vienna, and here we come, America. What else did I know? So again, what I'm going to say is, you're proud to be Scottish tonight, right? For one, it's brilliant. The other thing I'm going to say is, surely there's a couple of strikers, really good strikers in the world, that have got a Scottish granny. You know what I mean? So we need to look at them. So there must be an Argentinian or a Brazilian centre forward somewhere that's got a Scottish grandparent. So let's get them, let's start reading the books, get a bit of homework done. And if anybody knows a really good striker for another country that they've got a relation somewhere in Scotland, let's give Stevie Clarke a phone. But mate, Clarky, what a job you've done, mate. I think you're the most miserable person when you're getting interviewed. I'd love to see you smiling. Maybe you don't want to let everybody know that there's a wee soft person in there, but fucking hell, you've made the World Cup and you're still doom, gloom and everything, man. Just smile, have a beer and come out and go, get it up, yees. And see all that Simon Jordan and all these English bloody guys that are on podcasts. They're talking about Scotland's no good enough. Well, get it right up the lot of yees, because they've just qualified from nowhere. We were third favourites in that group and we've ended up top of the group. And that's, look at the size of our country compared to England. You know, they got there easy, but they won't be wanting to face us, I'll tell you that, in America, Mexico or Canada. So anyway, that's brilliant. Absolutely magic for the Scottish boys and the Celtic boys. Well done. You know, Tony Ralston, Kieran Tierney, well done. You notice there wasn't any Rankers players in the team last night. I reckon that's why we went forward and won. You know, we've just got that, Celtic's just got that winning way, and when our players are involved, we start to win. So anyway, brilliant night. Flower of Scotland was brilliant. Everything, the atmosphere. So absolutely magic. Proud to be Scottish. And come on, Scotland, give us a show when they get out here. So I'm going to talk to the missus tonight, and hopefully she'll say, yeah, let's go. So if I don't see you before then, I'll see you in America, Mexico or Canada, maybe. Touch wood with the missus, you know. I'll need to make dinner tonight, make maybe a steak or something, maybe oysters, and we'll get that sorted later. All right, anyway, I'm going to say this, hail, hail, and bonnie Scotland.